Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Dennis Prager Show. The hospital in Gaza issue is a very revealing one. All evidence right now points to the fact that it was, in fact, a Palestinian rocket and not an Israeli hit that hit not even the hospital, but the parking lot of the hospital. So the odds are overwhelming that we are living with two spectacular lies. One, that Israel hit a hospital. Well, three. Israel hit a hospital, killed 500 people, doctors, patients, visitors, etc. And that, let's see, so that Israel did it, and they killed X number of people. Yeah, those are the two big lies. And it turns out that it was a Palestinian rocket, and it wasn't the hospital, it was the parking lot of the hospital. Nevertheless, people like Justin Trudeau has already condemned Israel. The second Hamas announced something, which is par for the course for Justin Trudeau, who is a Castro admirer. The further left you get, the less truth is a factor. Truth is not a left-wing value. It is a liberal value and a conservative value. Almost every day I get to say that. And you are now seeing it. The United Nations Secretary General condemned Israel for it. Why do people believe Hamas? If in World War II, the Nazis had made a statement and the Allies had made a counter statement, would people assume that the Nazi statement was true and the Ally statement was a lie? Why does the same common sense not apply today? And there is an answer: because our moral compass is broken today. That's why the left doesn't have a moral compass, and so it has done a lot of shattering elsewhere in the liberal world and in the world generally. Israel not only has a video of the Islamic Jihad, isn't that redundant? Is there a non-Islamic jihad? Anyway, Islamic Jihad apparently fired the rocket. It misfired and landed in the parking lot of a hospital. But they never miss an opportunity to smear Israel. And much of the world doesn't miss an opportunity to believe any smear about Israel. Because the ache is to show a moral equivalence between Israel and the Palestinians. That's the ache. Everybody knows that there is a universe. Even people on the left know it. They deny it to themselves and to the world. But on a lie detector, if they were asked, if Hamas made a statement and the Israeli government made a statement and they were contradictory, which do you think is more likely to be true? Almost anyone, if there were repercussions for failing a lie detector test, almost anyone would acknowledge that it was far more likely that Israel had been telling the truth. I just recorded an hour with Megyn Kelly. You can certainly watch that. It'll be up today. And the issue arose: why is this happening? She was, to her great credit, she is quite concerned of the eruption of anti-Semitism in the United States. She put up videos of people tearing down posters, young people, posters of missing Israelis. in case anybody knows anything about them. In the West, I think in fact at NYU and some other places. And it's really something. People are looking for relatives who are probably dead or kidnapped. And they tear that down. There are people who tear down the posters. But every time there is a person identified, it is with a name that comes from the Middle East. That was my warning. When so many people were so advocative of bringing in vast numbers of people from the Middle East, I said, you are importing Jew hatred. You are importing West hatred. There are some wonderful people who come in, but many people have the values of the Middle East. Jew hatred, America hatred, Western civilization hatred. And, of course, it didn't matter. Because people deny, they live in the make-believe world, in a make-believe world. Everybody is like us. That's what the naive in the West think. There's no difference between us, just like there's no difference between men and women. It's amazing the rejection of differences, cultural or sexual. It's a make-believe world because they're uncomfortable with the fact that civilizations have different beliefs. Just to say that Western civilization has been better than others is now deemed racist, as if there's a racial component to it. What is the racial component? The Nazis were white. How could there be a racial component? Was not Nazism a rejection of Western civilization? There is no racial component. There is a cultural, there is a moral component. Yeah. And so many Jews, wanting to show how compassionate they were advocative, even some really prominent Jews. Yes, bring in 1 million people into Europe from the Middle East. Of course. Doesn't the Bible say love the stranger? Actually, it says love the resident alien, the non-Israelite who lives among you. You must love him because you were like that. You were strangers like that in the land of Egypt. So you should have empathy. It doesn't mean you bring in people who want to destroy you in the millions. That is not a biblical principle because the Bible isn't stupid. The rejectors of the Bible tend to be stupid. So there's another fascinating issue taking place. This was a big theme of Megyn Kelly's, about all these supporters of the universities that are now saying, don't give any money to the universities. And I said, maybe that's the one bright spot of the horror of October 7th. Maybe that there is an awakening among liberals, because these are all liberals. There's awakening among liberals as to the cesspools that the universities have become and for which they have raised billions of dollars. These naive, well-intentioned people, and you know what I think of good intentions, they are literally worthless. So maybe there is an awakening. But I did ask, and is not said with any resentment, I pray that they actually have awakened to how much money they have given to bad places called universities, destructive places, morally idiotic places. But I'm just curious, when they said America was systemically racist, that wasn't a wake-up call? When the University of Pennsylvania forced the girls' swimming team to accept a man, a boy, as a member of the team. And when he was naked in the locker room exposing his genitals to the girls, it was okay because he said he's a girl. This is the University of Pennsylvania. They put massive pressure on the female swimmers to accept him. That was okay. But now all of a sudden the universities show their real temperament.